I will sing and then you will follow. Jaya Radha
Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Radha Madhava
Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Giridharam Gopi Janavallabha Giridharam Hari Gopi Janavallabha Yashodanandana Rajanarandana Yashodanandana Rajanarandana Yashodanandana Rajanarandana Yashodanandana Rajanarandana Yamuna Tera Vanatam Hari Yamuna Tera Vanatari Yamuna Tera Vanatam Hari Yamuna Tera Vanatari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Giridharam Hari Gopi Janavallabha Giridharam Gopi Janavallabha Giridharam Hari Gopi Janavallabha Giridharam Yashodanandana Rajanarandana Yashodanandana Rajanarandana Yashodanandana Rajanarandana Yamuna Tera Vanatam Hari Yamuna Tera Vanatari Yamuna Tera Vanatam Hari Yamuna Tera Vanatari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari 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 Jaya Radha Sham Sundar Radha Sham Sundar Hare Jaya Radha Sham Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Vishnupada, Paramahamsa Vigrachaya, Sutta Sutta Śrīmatāṁ, Śrī Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Vishnupada, Paramahamsa Vigrachaya, Sutta Sutta Śrīmatāṁ, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavavrinda ki Jai. Shri Rup Shri Sanatana Bhakta Raghunath Ji Jiv Gopal Bhatta Dasa Raghunatharya Goswami Prabhu ki Jai. Prem Se Gosi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopal Gopi Gopi Vinayacham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhana ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham ki Mathura Dham ki Mayapur Dham ki Jagannathpuri Dham ki Tulsi Maharani Bhakti Devi ki Ganga Yamuna Devi ki Harinam Sankirtan Yagya ki Sri Sri Gauritai ki Sri Sri Krishna Balaram ki Sri Sri Radha Shama Sundar ki Gopuranande Hari Hari Bol Samavita Bhakti Vrinda ki all glories to the Assembly devotees, all glories to the Assembly devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Guru and all glories to Sri Prabhupada. So we're speaking from the Bhagavad Gita as it is, 6th chapter entitled Dhyana Yoga. Text number 41. So I will read the Sanskrit 3 times and you can just repeat with me if you have the book or on a computer or whatever. So, prāpya puṇya-kṛtāṁ lokān uṣitvā śāśvatīḥ samāḥ śucīnāṁ śrīmatāṁ gehe yoga-bhraṣṭo bhijāyate prāpya puṇya-kṛtāṁ lokān uṣitvā śāśvatīḥ samāḥ śucīnāṁ śrīmatāṁ gehe yoga-bhraṣṭo bhijāyate prāpya puṇya-kṛtāṁ lokān uṣitvā śāśvatīḥ samāḥ śucīnāṁ śrīmatāṁ gehe yoga-bhraṣṭo bhijāyate. So the word for word, prāpya, after achieving, puṇya-kṛtāṁ, of those who perform pious activities, lokān, planets, uṣitvā, after dwelling, śāśvatīḥ, many, samāḥ, years, śucīnāṁ, of the pious, śrīmatāṁ, of the prosperous, gehe, in the house, yoga-bhraṣṭa, one who has fallen from the path of self-realization, bhijāyate, takes his birth. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada, Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. The unsuccessful yogi, after many years of enjoyment, on the planets of the pious living entities is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. Purport. The unsuccessful yogis are divided into two classes. One is fallen after very little progress, and one is fallen after long practice of yoga. The yogi who falls after a short period of practice goes to the high planets where pious living entities are allowed to enter. After prolonged life there, one is sent back again to this planet to take birth in the family of righteous Brahmana, Vaishnavas, or of an aristocratic merchant. And the real purpose of yoga practice is to achieve the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness, as explained in the last verse of this chapter. But those who do not persevere to such an extent and fail because of material allurements are allowed by the grace of the Lord to make full utilization of their material propensities. And after that, they are given opportunities to live prosperous lives in righteous or aristocratic families. Those who are born in such families may take advantage of the facilities and try to elevate themselves to full Krishna consciousness. Bandeham Sri Guru Sri Yotapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Chirupam Sagradatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Govika Ganta Radha Kanta Namastude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sude Devi Anamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatrubhascha Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Paditanam Pavanebhya Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivajadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Prāpya puṇya-kṛtāṁ lokān uṣitvā śāśvatīḥ samāḥ śucīnāṁ śrīmatāṁ gehe yoga-bhraṣṭo bhijāyate. The unsuccessful yogi, after many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. So this is an important verse, famous verse from the Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna is speaking to Arjuna. After Arjuna had asked Krishna that what is happening with those persons who have been engaged in devotional activities, who have done yoga, but somehow they're not becoming successful. They're not attaining the goal. So, are they not lost? Just like in the material world, usually the experience is there that one is working, one is doing something, achieving even something. But then at the time of death, everything is gone. One cannot take anything with us from this material world. One has a big house and car and TV, mobile, so much money, but that at the time of death, nothing is of any use, and that cannot go with one's self. That stays here. The body stays here, and these things stay here. So similarly, one may think that we may practice this devotional service, the yoga, but if we are not attaining perfection, then what will happen then? At the time of that, if one is not perfect, is that then also everything is lost? Then it becomes useless labor. So, just to clarify this, Arjuna is asking this question to Krishna: what is the faith of a yogi? And Krishna is answering him. So those puṇya-kṛtāṁ, those who have acted piously, so after many years of enjoying on the planets of the demigods, so they may come to this material world again in family of righteous people, in the family of Brahmanas. Of course, so many persons are there in this material world with different desires and acting in different ways. And so then the result will be also accordingly. Some persons, they want to remain in this material world and live happy in this material world. And they're not so much concerned with spiritual life. But in order to do that, even after giving up this body, someone must be pious, at least. One must have knowledge of the Vedic literatures. And of course, some they want to go to the heavenly planets, having heard about heavenly planets, the demigods, that there's more enjoyment there, one lives longer there. So then they want to go there. But to go to the higher planets is not so easy. And one has to be very pious, actually. And of course, even in this material world, like many years ago, the Americans, they proclaimed that they went to the moon. First moon landing, 1968. But according to the Vedic literatures, by artificial means, one cannot go to the moon planet, which is higher planet. And those who are conversant with the Vedic literatures, they know that this is actually not possible. But even many of the Westerners who are not even conscious of the Vedic literatures, they have also understood that actually they did not go to the moon. But still many people, they believe what to do. That is in the material world. Illusion is there. And only few people are there who are knowledgeable, who know the absolute truth, who are properly situated or trying to advance in spiritual life. And basically the material world is a place for the conditioned souls. And the society nowadays is also the society of cheaters and those who want to be cheated. So, but coming back to the point of the yogis, so that is for those who are engaged in devotional activities. Because it is also mentioned, if one does good, one will also get the good result. And that is known as the law of karma. If you do good, you will get something good in return. If you do something bad, you will get something bad in return. So the devotees who are engaged in spiritual activities, they will always be getting some good result. And the Lord will always help them to make more and more advancement in spiritual life and ultimately reach perfection. But to become fully successful in spiritual life, realize the transcendental form of the Lord, realize one's own self as spirit soul, completely aware of one's being different from when this stage of devotional service. So, but it is mentioned also try one's best to achieve in one life. The endeavor must be there, and then depending on the different factors it may be achieved. But so the point is here then, if it is not achieved, what will be the position? So some of the devotees who are engaged in spiritual activities, so there's hinted at here, they will they still have some material attachments. They want to have a family, and they want to eat nicely. They want to have comforts in this world. They need a computer. Because nowadays it is also practically a necessity to have a computer, especially now lockdown. Otherwise you could not be speaking here the Bhagavad Gita. But yes, so it has become a necessity. And even the mobile now is almost a necessity. And then one needs a car. But ultimately, these are material necessities. But for spiritual perfection, these are actually not so much required. It can be a help, but most important for spiritual perfection, so it's the chanting of the holy names, worshipping the deities, reading the scriptures, the books, associating with the saintly persons, living in holy place. For this, we know that the external facilities, but they may be used to some extent. So, but those who are still attached to these things and then have one mobile, then they want a better mobile also. And so, if the devotees are not successful, then they may go to the higher planets. Or they may take birth also here again in this world, in a rich family, so they may be nicely situated. They may have to advance further in spiritual life. So, therefore, actually, for the devotee, it is important to live a simple life, and simple living, high thinking, as Prabhupada used to say, and try to be absorbed in the mukhya anga, the most important limbs of devotional service. And then in this way, because to become completely free from material allurements and material attachment, it will take time. But at least one should try one's best and try act in such a way that in the next life we may be able to continue a better situation. So just like we have the percentage maybe of success 100%, so that is self-realization. If one is coming to 75%, then it is easier for him in the next life. If one is coming up to 50% of Krishna consciousness, so then the possibility of the next life is little less to become perfect. If one has attained only 10% in this lifetime, then in next lifetime to become also perfect, even it will not be so easy. Therefore, in this lifetime, we should try to make as much advancement as possible. So if you cannot make it this lifetime, then you may make it in the next lifetime. So it is an ongoing process, and as a devotee sometimes, so we want quick results, that is natural, and so eagerness, it is good to have eagerness. We should pray for becoming perfect as soon as possible. But at the same time, we have to be also patient and understand our situation in reality. Even in the material world, for example, somebody wants to become a successful businessman and make so much money. But not everyone is able to, even if one is working hard. Only those who have been pious in the previous life, they may become successful businessmen. Somebody wants to become a Hollywood or Bollywood hero. But even that is not possible for everyone. But if one has the pious merits, in order to be successful in that, then it may be possible. Somebody wants to maybe become a cricket star, like Sachin Tendulkar or whoever is now, who's the big one now, Virat Kohli or whoever. So they are successful, and many are trying to be successful, but not everyone will be successful. That is also because of karma. So even in the material world, one may work very hard, but if one has not been pious in the previous life, then he may not attain whatever he wants. It is not possible. That is just a material example, so what to speak, but still it may be used even in the spiritual point of view, that in order to become completely successful, one must have the pious merits from a previous life. And then one must have the good association in this life. And then by the mercy of the Spiritual Master and the Lord, one may become successful. So, but constant endeavor has to be there, and serious endeavor, very sincere endeavor. And then one will be able to get some mercy of the Spiritual Master and the Lord, by which one can advance further. Even to get the complete mercy of the Lord, immediately it is not possible. But the mercy comes also step by step. Just like a child going to school. It will take time to come to the higher classes. Unless one is a genius, due to previous pious merits, as somebody is born as a genius. Even you can see some sitar players there, tabla player, musicians. Even in the West, we have seen. Right from childhood, they become very expert. And that is usually because in previous life also they have practice. And therefore they can attain that. So, so similar in spiritual life also, if one has practice in the previous life, then it is easier to become perfect in this lifetime. If one is at the beginning, so then it will be a great struggle to become successful. But ultimately it doesn't matter for the devotee, because we know that we are the servants of Krishna, and we know we have to constantly serve Krishna. We may become perfect this lifetime or not. Ultimately, it does not matter. We simply have to serve Krishna. Should be unmotivated, pure devotional service. Anyabilashita sunyam jnana karma navritam anukulina Krishna anushīlanam bhakti ruttamam. Rupa Goswami has explained what is pure devotional service. To do as Krishna wants. Krishna anushīlanam, following what Krishna wants. Anukul bhav, favorably, positively, and not desiring anything of this material world. So the motive has to be pure, and the endeavor has to be constant, sincere, and serious. And then one can advance by the mercy of the Lord. One will get some mercy. And by this mercy, one can advance more. Then one will get more mercy. Then one can advance more, just like a child. First going first class, then second class, then third class, fourth class, like this. And the difference. Exams are there, pariksha, examinations are there in the school and also in spiritual life. And then we have to so try to see that we can advance more and more. So we have to be always under the guidance of the expert teacher, the spiritual master, or the advanced devotee. And one has to use one's intelligence. One has to be introspective. One has to be thoughtful. And so then try to apply oneself fully to the process of devotional service, as explained by the Spirit Master, as it is written in the scriptures. So, but for the devotee, ultimately there's no loss and diminution. Unless one is actually offensive. So sometimes some devotees, they become offensive towards others, and that will actually stop their advancement. So one always has to be humble, tolerant, and respectful, and see the good qualities in others. And try to be introspective and see ourselves, what is our position, and how we can improve. So what if one is in this humble state of mind, and always positive, respectful, then by the mercy of the Lord one can advance slowly but surely to the highest stage. So that is guaranteed. Yes, so on one hand, we may say that the process is actually easy. We just chant the holy names, and take Krishna Prasad. We'll do a little seva, and then we can advance nicely in spiritual life. At the same time, we can see that the mind is not always cooperating. As Krishna is saying in the beginning of the 6th chapter, that the mind can be the best friend or the worst enemy. If the mind is controlled, engaged in devotional service, then it's the best friend. If it's not engaged, then it's the worst enemy. And so to control the mind, so that we have to endeavor, and it may not be easy, but one has to strenuously endeavor to control the mind and the senses, to engage them, by engaging them in devotional service. But by one's own endeavor only, it will not be possible. But one has to take the help of the devotees of the Lord, and pray for the mercy. And then only it will be possible to be fully engaged and to conquer the mind, the obstinate mind. So therefore, even the great devotees, they have mentioned that we have to be careful of our own mind. And that is mentioned that there are 6 enemies there for the living entities, actually coming from one's own mind. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. So too much Kam, excessive desires to enjoy this world. And then Lobh is to be very much greedy for these things which may be there in the material world. And then if that is not attained, then anger may be there. As Krishna says in the second chapter, by contemplating the object of the senses, so one becomes attracted and attached to it, and then one wants to try to enjoy. And if the enjoyment is not there, the excessive greed is there, then will be frustration, and then it will be anger there. And then of course one falls again in this material whirlpool. And then of course the moha is there, illusion about the proper use of the human form of life. And then there's also madness. If one is not properly situated, then one actually is just like a madman. And then envy, being envious of others, being envious of the Lord. What I can enjoy and I want to enjoy. So one has to be careful of this workings of the mind. So these 6 enemies are mentioned, which are coming from the mind. One has to be careful and not come under the influence of these enemies. Also, that is only possible if one is equipped with knowledge, with transcendental knowledge. And if one is engaged in devotional service, and one has to try to become detached from this material world, material attraction, material allurements, one has to try one's best. But it is not easy, and it will take time to become completely pure, free from all unwanted things which are there in the heart, known as anarthas. Artha means which is something which is for one's benefit. It may be material, but usually then also we are looking not for material benefits, but spiritual benefit, spiritual achievement. So anartha means that is which is not beneficial, that is actually unwanted, unnecessary things. So nivariti, one should become free from this. Asat trishna, being or having trishna, thirst for that which is not real, asat, material things. Asat gamaya, asat ma sat gamayaha. That is asat, we should leave that. And we should go to the eternal sat, that refers to eternal existence, the absolute truth, the spiritual kingdom. Nityama amrita gamayaha. Amrita, this nectar of real life, spiritual life, we should go towards that. And give up this mortal world, the cycle of birth and death. Tamasima jyotir gamaya. Tamasima, the tamas, the ignorance, that we should leave the ignorance, we should leave the darkness and go to the light. So thirst for material things, it has to be given up. Asat trishna, thirst for that which is not permanent, for the material, that has to be given up. But even if one has the conviction, yes, I have to give this up. This is not good for me. But if one is not mature, if one is not pure, then even if one is desiring and trying, still, because of weakness of heart, hridaya dorvalya, he's trying, no, I should always be engaged in devotional activities, no sense purification. I should not eat too much. But then the plate of Mahaprasad is here, and Raskula, Sandesh are there. And then the mind will go there, and one will forget, I should not eat too much. So that is weakness of heart. So that has to be overcome. And then aparad, different kinds of offenses. That which is aradhana means the worship of the Lord. And the most expert, most wonderful devotee, worshipper of the Lord, that is Radharani. Aparar means one who is going away from the devotional life. One who is offensive, disrespecting the Lord and the devotees. So that has to be given away. Otherwise one will not be able to come to the highest position. And then Sarup Brahma, not knowing about the true nature of the Lord and the pure devotional path and one's own situation. So that has to be overcome for the illusion, not being properly situated. So by reading the scriptures with knowledge, Jnana Chakshu, Shastra Chakshu, seeing through the eyes of the scriptures, with the eye of knowledge, and then one should be able to cut this illusion with the sword of knowledge, as it is also said. And then we may advance more and more. So one should try one's best to make as much advancement as possible in this life. And unfortunate one may attain perfection. If not, as explained here, there's no loss for the devotee, even if he has to take birth again. But the Lord is merciful, and He will give him the opportunity to advance in next lifetime. Although the embodied being, so after giving up the body and entering a new body, he will have forgotten practically what he has done the last life. But the Lord will guide him from within. And then he will come in proper association, and is explained here in family of Brahmana. And because the Lord is always there to help, then naturally, what he has done in the last lifetime, if he was pious, then he may continue. So the more one is able to achieve in this lifetime, if one is not attaining perfection, but it will help for the next lifetime, then it will more naturally, then again, one will go in that direction with the help of the Lord also. Will put one in the situation, in a place where he can continue. And he may, as Prabhupada says, so he may take advantage of the facilities and try to elevate themselves to full Krishna consciousness. So you can just see from the last line also of Prabhupada, if one was not successful in this lifetime, then he will be born in such families and may take advantage of the facilities, may take. There's no full guarantee that in the next lifetime you may be able to fully take advantage and try to elevate themselves. They may take advantage and try to elevate themselves. So just from this statement, you can see that actually a pure devotee, his words are very significant. And if you analyze them, may take advantage of the facility. So he was already practicing in this lifetime, then he has not attained perfection. In the next lifetime, he may be born in a family of righteous people or Brahmana family, and then he may take advantage of the facilities. He may take, but there's no full guarantee also that he will be able to take full advantage. And therefore, Prabhupada is saying, try to elevate themselves to full consciousness. They will try. But then the mercy is required of the Lord, of the pure devotee, to become fully Krishna conscious. So the Lord is merciful, the pure devotee is merciful, and they're trying very hard to help the conditioned souls But the conditions also have to be very serious, sincere, and then take advantage of the facilities. So, and they have to try to become fully Krishna conscious. But the external energy is so strong and so alluring that it is not so easy to become fully absorbed. But one has to try one's best and pray for the special mercy of Hari Guru and the Vaishnavas to become successful. But if one is sincere, and it is mentioned, one who does good is never overcome by evil. So if you try to do good, if you try to be positive, if you try to be engaged in devotional service, then we will ultimately achieve perfection. If not this lifetime, then the next. If not in the next, then the life after that. But it isn't just a matter of a few years or a few lifetimes to become perfect. And yes, so we are very fortunate. And just only a few hundred years ago, Mahaprabhu appeared. So a very auspicious time. And we are in the Krishna consciousness movement started by Prabhupada, who was empowered to spread Krishna consciousness. So we have the opportunity to advance rapidly in Krishna consciousness by the mercy of Prabhupada, Mahaprabhu, Sri Radha Krishna. So we should try our best to make as much advancement as possible. Hare Krishna.
Sorry.
Any question? Yes, one question. Yes, in my house there's one devotee. He has a question. Yes. What is the question?
Yeah. So, Prabhuji, thank you, Prabhuji, for your enlightenment. Just now you have mentioned 5 major angas of the devotion. Sadhu,
Yes,
sadhu
yes. I've
sangha,
mentioned 5 angas of devotional service. They are known as Pancha Mahatapurna. The 5 most important limbs of devotional service. Yes.
So, Sadhu Sangha, Harinam, Bhagavad Shravan, Mathuravash, Shraddha, Vigraha Archan. That is what Sri Mahaprabhu said. So now, if we see the definitions, if we see through the Shastra Chakshu, we see in Bhagavad Gita 5:18 and Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 25, verse number 21. We have the definitions of the sadhus, how they're supposed to.
Yes, so there's a definition in Bhagavad Gita 5:18 and in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the definition of the sadhu, of the saintly person.
Right.
Yes.
So, and then Prabhuji has mentioned that we are using many things which actually not required for the spiritual advancement.
Yes, so we are using many things which cannot be required for spiritual advancement.
Even we can see that in our movement also.
Yes, we can see in our movement also, yes.
So now for the beginner, how we will associate with the sadhu, because in the beginner there is a high chances to make the Vaishnava aparat if we find like this type of differences according to the Shastra Chakra. So how we will associate with the sadhu?
How to associate with the sadhu, yes. The beginners, they may be prone to not have the proper conception and make some offense, aparad. But so the point is that actually how to associate with the sadhu.
Because
yeah.
So because even in the attire of sadhu, there are many rascals.
Yes, it is there that not always those who are in the dress of a Vaishnava, of a sannyasi, may not always be completely genuine. Yes.
So for the beginner,
for the beginner, how they can understand
yes.
who is genuine.
Yes.
Actually, the beginner for him it will be difficult to understand who is a pure devotee. It may be difficult. It may practically not be possible to understand who is a pure devotee. Even those who are already engaged in devotional life for quite some time, even for them to understand who is a pure devotee is not so easy. Only those who are very nicely situated, those who are highly advanced, they can recognize the pure devotee. For them it is possible. Of course, some of the pure devotees are very much empowered and they are more easily recognized even by the common devotees, by the common man. Some others, they may not be so highly, richly endowed with so many symptoms of the great acharyas, the leaders, but they may still be pure devotees and they may not be so easily recognized because they are just taking a humble position. But basically, we have to always be positive, as always, as a devotee, and we have to use our intelligence, and we have to see through the eyes of the scriptures. In the scriptures also it mentions the symptoms of a saintly person, and then we have to be also praying to the Lord within the heart, to guide us and to help us to have the proper vision, or to help us to see the genuine devotees. Because the conditioned soul on his own, he will not be able to understand who is a pure devotee. It will be difficult. But with the help of the scriptures, with the help of other devotees, with the help of the Supreme Lord in the heart, then we may recognize this is a pure devotee of the highest order. This is also a pure devotee on a high level. And this one is an intermediate devotee who is nicely situated, but not yet on the highest level. And these are the neophyte devotees, the beginners, who are not so yet properly situated and nicely absorbed. So the beginner who has come to devotional service, he should follow the process of devotional service, and he should read the scriptures, and he should associate with general devotees, but then also he has to associate with those who are always positive, with those who are showing the symptoms of the advanced devotees. One has to associate with those who are always glorifying the Lord, who are engaged in the service of the Lord, who are compassionate, who are always ready to help others, who are not criticizing others unnecessarily. They may also correct, but they are not criticizing others. And they are not attached to material things. So they're quite aloof from these things. But they may use things in the service of the Lord, but they are not attached to these things. Like in this world, so we may use the computer, we may use the phone, but one should not be attached to that. Someone may have to, the beginner devotee may have to study the person, and then he may try to see from the scriptures, and then he may also then pray to the Lord. And actually one has to pray to the Lord. Please, my dear Lord, bring me the association of a nice devotee, of an advanced devotee who can help me in my spiritual life. So because ultimately the conditioned soul is on his own, he cannot do much, but he needs the help of the devotees, the scriptures, and the Supreme Lord. And most important is actually the relationship with the Supreme Lord, with Krishna in the heart, of Krishna in the deity, and having the relationship with the Lord and praying to the Lord to please help us. And especially we then need the association of the devotees who are nicely situated. And then with their help, we can come more close to Krishna. We can understand Krishna better. We can understand what Krishna likes. Like, for example, So Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and so he's Aptakam and Atmaram. He's fully self-satisfied. At the same time, he has some things which he likes. For example, and that is just, he's the Lord and it is his choice. For example, fruits. Krishna is one fruit which he likes very much. There are many fruits, apple, papaya, banana, guava, pomegranate, and so on. Now, Krishna, he can live without any fruits also, but at the same time, he likes to eat one banana. He likes to eat an apple also. They're there in the spiritual world. They're there, and everything is there for Krishna. And he may enjoy or he may not take it. But everyone is there to serve. The trees are there and they want to serve Krishna, give their fruits. So Krishna likes all the devotees, he likes all the fruits, he likes all the animals. But especially it is mentioned, Krishna likes one small fruit. Chiku. He likes the chiku fruit. You know chiku? You don't know chiku? I will show you the chiku. Chiku is a small brownish color of fruit. It is available now. It is also chiku season now. So Krishna likes the fruit. He just likes it. Which fruit you like?
Me?
Yeah?
Jackfruit.
Jackfruit. Okay. And Mahaprabhu, he likes banana. So I also like banana. I like chiku also. But somebody may like more apple. So, but if you know what Krishna likes, then you can please Krishna more. So then you see chiku in the market, then you buy chiku and you offer to Krishna. And Krishna likes all the animals. Krishna is known as Gopal, Govinda. So he likes the cows and the calves very much. Therefore he's roaming in the forest, he's roaming in Braj with the cows and the calves, playing with them, taking care of them, and they can graze. So, and therefore we should also take care of the cows, and the cow is also important actually. It's giving the milk, which is very essential for us. So therefore we should serve the cows also. That will be for our benefit. Now Krishna, we see, oh, this devotee is also taking care of the cows, which are very dear to me. And if you do something for Krishna, or you do something for the things which are, or for the objects which are dear to Krishna, then you become dear to Krishna. So if you serve the cow, then Krishna becomes happy. So we should try to, although he's Atmaram, Aptakam, but still he likes the cow. It's his choice. Somebody may like buffaloes. Even Krishna likes the buffaloes, but he likes more the cows. And Krishna is taking cow milk. He doesn't drink buffalo milk. But he likes buffalo yogurt, which he takes. But we take cow milk. That is good for the brain. Buffalo milk. It's very rich, but we don't take. So it is good to have knowledge, and that is important. That will help us also and, to come closer to Krishna. So that is important. Acquiring knowledge from the scripture, from the spiritual master, so that we can come closer to Krishna. Of course, the names of Krishna associates. So just like if somebody wants to go to America, so he will find out about America, what they're doing there, and what is the climate and everything. If you take interest, then we may get the visa, and then we may go there, and then we may live there. So similarly, if one wants to go to Golok, we should know how the place is looking like and who is there, and then by becoming absorbed in that, then we can go there. So there has to be desire to go to Golok in order to to develop the desire, we should hear about Krishna and Krishna's associates and Vrindavan. And then when we are hearing about that, thinking about that, then we may go there. Otherwise not. So this process is very wonderful. In one sense, it is simple. Prabhupada used to say simple for the simple. Those who are simple-minded or honest, sincere, for them, it is a little more easy. Those are a little complicated in the brain, in their behavior. So for them, it is a little more complicated. So we should try to be simple and follow the spiritual master and chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So if you are sincere, then you will be also able to associate with those who are sincere. And Krishna will also guide you. Krishna will give you the association of the sincere devotees. So desire is important, to have a genuine desire. And then if one is praying and desiring to be in the association of the pure devotee, then when you pray, please Krishna, show me your pure devotee, your advanced devotee. When you're praying like this, Krishna will make the arrangement that you can be in the association of the nice devotee, the advanced devotee, the pure devotee. Okay? Any more question? Any question?
Hare Krishna, any questions?
Okay. No questions?
Seems not, Prabhu.
No question. Okay, so we stop here. Okay, thank you. Srila Prabhupada
Thank you very
ki
much,
Jai.
Prabhu. Prabhupada
Hare
ki jai.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.